A lot of people blame their attachment style for ruining their relationship, but what if I told you it's one of your actual superpowers when connecting with other people? After working in the counseling field for over 10 years, I've learned a few things. One has to do with your nervous system and how you're wired, and how that can actually be a gift if you let it. In this video, we're going to cover the 4 major attachment styles and let you know why yours isn't necessarily a flaw or mean you're broken or even mean that you necessarily need therapy. When it first came on the scene in the 1950s, attachment theory has blown up, and I'd be surprised if you haven't heard of it before. It's everywhere on social media, TikTok, and there's 2 things right off the bat that people get wrong right away. And before I go into that, I want to let you know, if you want to skip all this and just get down to the meat and potatoes, click the link in the description. You'll get to my men's school group, which has a lot of free tools and training to help you out. So starting off the top, what are the 4 main attachment styles? First one is, I'm going to use the phrase, facts don't care about your feelings. And even before we get into that, what are attachment styles? Simply put, they are the way that you show up and find comfort in relationships. So if we go back to facts don't care about your feelings, that is the cry of an avoidant attachment style. Doesn't matter how you feel, these are the facts. They tend to be more self-reliant. Avoidant attachment tends to kind of shut down intense emotions more quickly. They don't need a lot of reassurance. They are just kind of living in the logical world and staying in that place. The inverse, feelings don't care about your facts, tends to be the cry of the anxious attachment. They are very aware of how they feel. They often are very empathetic and look for reassurance in their relationships, and that can drive them to pursue things that they may feel off about. The next up is facts and feelings both have a place. That is the secure attachment style. They're characterized by balance. They can see the importance of both feelings and facts, and hold space. And then the 4th one is feelings don't care about your facts unless they're strong feelings, which then means we need to go back to the hard, cold facts. That's a disorganized attachment style, which is characterized by unpredictability at times, a behavior that craves closeness, but then when they experience closeness are quick to drive back to a place of self-reliance. So those are the 4 main types. And the 2 things that people get wrong, the attachment theory is just that. It's a theory. It's not a label. It's not a curse. You're not defined by these words. And be very careful not to put yourself in a box or the person that you're in a relationship with into a box, because that can limit your thinking. That's number 1. Number 2 is, too often people think that secure attachment is the good one, and all the others, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, are quote-unquote bad. But that's not entirely true either. It's extremes are bad. High intensity of these characteristics are what's bad. But every single human on earth has moments and tendencies and carries with them these different parts. And so to just assume that secure is good and all the other is bad, I think is short-sighted. Even people with secure attachment experience moments of anxious or avoidant or disorganized emotion. And so stick with me and we'll go through each one and help you understand why those can actually be a superpower. Imagine you're an EMT and you just arrive on the scene of a terrible car accident, and there's destruction and damage everywhere and people are shaken up and crying. It could be easy to be caught up in the emotion of the moment. It's traumatic. But as an EMT, you have a job to do, and the quickness that you do your job could mean life or death. And so an avoidant attachment's ability to focus on the facts, to focus on what do I need to get done, what is most important right now, is such a gift and a superpower in that moment. An avoidant attachment style will allow them to not think about all the heaviness, which is present and real, but in that moment, act. And so often an avoidant attachment can see the bigger picture. They can serve in a lot of leadership roles, make hard decisions when it could be easy to be bogged down in a lot of the emotion. Now, to be clear, that's not wrong or bad to feel emotion, but these are the superpowers, recognizing this is a tool that I can use in these moments. When everything feels heavy and it seems like there's no direction, the avoidant attachment part can be a superpower to step in and make a hard decision and get stuff done. They also can withdraw from heavy relationship dynamics and be okay. There's a lot of self-reliance, and that in itself is a superpower too. And when you think about avoidant attachment, they're able to zoom out 30,000 foot view pretty easily and see, hey, things are okay. If 8 out of 10 things are good, then it's pretty good, and we don't need to worry about the 2 out of 10 that aren't. Now, obviously, the flip side is the 2 out of 10 could be really, really bad and really important, and you have to focus it. But to a degree, the avoidant attachment can be a superpower of keeping the big picture and being able to stay more in this realm of facts at times. Switching gears, the next scenario is, imagine you're at a barbecue or you're at a party and your friend, everybody's laughing, having a good time. Your friend starts talking to you, and right away you sense something. You feel something in your gut or your stomach, and you go, uh-oh, like this person's not okay. Or think about culturally in America, we often go through and we go, hey, how are you? Fine, how are you? It's very robotic at times. But an anxious attached person can pick up on, wait a second, something is not there. Something is going on. And in this scenario at the barbecue, they're able to ask their friend, hey, something seems off. Are you okay? Now imagine that friend then opens up and says, actually, I just lost my job, or my wife and I are fighting, or something happens that everyone else would have missed. But an anxious attached person, that superpower of deep empathy and understanding and cues is such an amazing gift to connect and pick up. Imagine that they weren't able to see that. Then this person's hurt and need might have gone unnoticed. So an anxious attached person, superpower of connecting and empathizing, and they're also able to make connections about how other people are feeling. Well, of course, this person might be struggling here because I know this about them and I know their relationship with this person, and they can connect the dots and make a story for why that person might be feeling the way they are. That is an incredible superpower that makes you such a comfort and connective person and presence in relationships. Now, obviously, again, the intensity extreme, they can find emotions where they're not there, or they can connect the dots and make a story where one isn't there, and that can cause a lot of heartache and pain. But the superpower itself, never lose that ability to pick up and empathize and connect. Switching gears, the secure attachment. Imagine this scenario, you're at work and all of a sudden two people start fighting, and one person starts getting louder and louder, the other person starts shutting down. The tension in the room is so thick you can cut it with a knife. Everybody's kind of standing awkwardly, not sure what to do. You're able to walk into the room and say, something's going on here, hold on. Let's talk to this person who is upset. Let's hold space for them. Let's talk to the other person that's shutting down. Let's hold space for them, recognizing there is a part to play on both sides, that both people's humanity is important, even though it's being reflected differently. A secure attachment's superpower is their balance and their ability to hold space and their ability to recognize, yes, there's emotion, yes, there's facts, and both are important and both have a place. We can't pick one or the other. We have to hold space for both. That is such an incredible superpower in all areas, to be able to recognize the emotion is real and it's not always true. And that's a kicker. All right. So secure attachment, superpower, being able to see both sides, hold their own, walk into conflict, and allow both people to feel supported and heard and understood. Incredible superpower. Certainly, last but not least, the disorganized attachment style. Too often this is characterized by someone who has grown up in an unpredictable setting with a parent who is craving closeness or actually may emotionally confide in a child, and that isn't necessarily appropriate, and that can cause them to go, ooh, this is too much. But then that same parent could theoretically leave or create too much distance, which then the child would want to draw closer. And so there's this push-pull dynamic. And the superpower of the disorganized style is they have experienced the extremes of both. There is a depth of understanding if they can channel it, if they can be aware. Yeah, I get how that felt, that craving, that desire for closeness and relationship. There's such an empathy to know, yes, that would have been miserable. They can see it because they've felt it and they've experienced it. And then the flip side, they can also understand, yep, I can see how that emotion, that's too much. That's too intense. And they can empathize and understand why you would need to step back. They can see the depth. It's such a superpower of understanding. Although you got to recognize, again, at the extremes, if they're engaging in that behavior where they're pursuing and they're pushing back and they're not even aware of it, that's what causes damage. But inherently, if they can have the self-awareness and track their nervous system and pick up on their different drives, that's going to be such an amazing superpower in helping them connect in relationships and with other people. So there you have it, the 4 different types and the superpowers about them. I hope this has been helpful. If you are looking for more tactical ways of, okay, now what? Now how do I actually implement some things in my relationship? Then check out this video right here. I've got 6 different habits that you can build into your marriage today to build connection and closeness. And thank you all for watching.